Pelicans. It's going to come up soon. It's going to be an interesting game because neither of these teams have their superstars. No Zion, no Cade. Hopefully, no problem for the Pistons. But make no mistake about it, these teams are very evenly matched with both of the stars gone. The Pelicans may have the best scorer on the floor with CJ McCollum. They'll have an elite perimeter defender in Jose Alvarado. They'll have really effective rim running and rim defending center in Yves Missy. They'll have the veteran Kelly Olynyk. And I believe at small forward, who did they go with this game? Let me just quickly check. Uh, they went with, without Zion, I guess the Timberwolves. They went with Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown. Man, you know what, Mike, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. And I think that there's going to be a lot for the Pistons team and us fans to learn about our roster. Bruce Brown to get that starting small forward spot. It's going to be really interesting because Bruce Brown and Asar Thompson have very similar skill sets. I think Bruce Brown grew as a shooter, being only 6'5", but he has like Josh Hart type energy where despite his size athletically and physicality wise, he's able to play much bigger. But they have a very similar style of play. This game will be about execution, the Detroit Pistons. It's going to be about who can execute their offense, who can impose their will. I'm very interested to see who gets that, not just the starting point guard spot, but also off guard spot. Who's going to be the starting backcourt? Is it going to be a Marcus Sasser, Lindy Waters? And we could potentially see Schroeder and Beasley maintaining that bench unit. I'm interested to see that. But I would not if it's Dennis Schroeder and Malik Beasley in that starting lineup, just because there'll be more continuity, guys who are used to playing with one another. And then I want to see who actually steps up. There's going to be a huge scoring void. And with Tim Hardaway Jr. also likely out with that sprained ankle, that looked pretty bad, I wouldn't be rushing him back unless he's 100% ready to go. But it's to say this is going to be a very evenly matched game. And we're going to see what pieces are moved at the right time. This is going to be a chess match type of a game. A chess match that JB Bickerstaff should be able to win because I think he's got more pieces. But the bench unit for the Pelicans isn't that bad either. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, he was a high school a McDonald's All-American, very forward off the bench, has increased his shooting ability. Think George Niang, but bigger and with a little bit more interior finishing, but a similar game style. Jordan Hawkins, he's a flamethrower off the bench. Matkovic is a really solid big man. I think there's going to be really interesting big men lineups or matchups in this game. It comes on at noon, so in only about 5 or 10 minutes. It'll say it starts at noon. It's not going to start until like 12:05, 12:08. That's generally when the actual game tips off. But it should be coming up soon. And then they've got Brooks Jr. I don't know who this Brooks guy or the Reeves guy is. Elfrid Payton. Payton is a vet point guard who knows how to run the show. And he's probably going to be a factor in helping Jordan Hawkins get loose. This game will be about Detroit Pistons playing Detroit basketball. They will have to establish that from the very tip-off. Now, some of the things that I also want to see from this team is getting Jalen Duren going early. He has to be a factor offensively in this game and stay out of foul trouble. I really, truly look forward to seeing that. Asar Thompson may not be as effective as a point forward in this game with Bruce Brown. I'll be really interested to see that matchup because, like I said, they have a similar game style, play style, and also outlook. I think Asar Thompson's jump shot is going to grow just like Bruce Brown's jump shot has grown over time as well. But they're really going to have to establish themselves in terms of their defensive intensity so that they don't let guys get off early. Hope and pray CJ McCollum does not get off early because he is the type of guard who can take over games even in these later stages of his career. He's just highly skilled, and his game's not predicated upon athletic at age as well. He's going to be able to light it up, get to the rim, play make, facilitate. He's going to be doing a lot for them. Jose Alvarado is also somebody who can get off, and so that defensive perimeter pressure is going to be essential. Asar has to stay out of foul trouble because when the game comes down the stretch, they're going to need to put him on C.J. McCollum and say neutralize that. But I want to see Jalen Duren get some post touches early. I want to see him at the top of that dribble handoff and then keeping it a few times. See if he can put pressure on Yves Missy, get him into foul trouble. Putting them into that backup rotation early, I think is going to really help out this team in terms of controlling the boards and the interior play. It's 3 a.m. Monday where I'm at. No, it's coming on today, bro. Oh, where you at though, Mike? You might be in another country, bro. So I ain't even gonna hold you. You might be in Australia or something. So it might be 3 a.m. But this game today is at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. Where I'm at. Are you in the Philippines? What up, Philippines? Yo, I've been out there, Quezon City. Hey, gang, gang, what's good? Y'all got some of the best fried chicken I ever had in my life, and that's saying something because my mom is from the Carolinas, from the South. Y'all got some good food out there. I'll holler at y'all about that. But yeah, the game's gonna be on. I think are gonna ball out and do their thing. I'm hoping, but it's gonna be competitive for sure. Fan of the Pistons, it's the bad boys, yeah, right? Yeah, there was something about those bad boys rosters, and then when you get to the 04 with the Wallace brothers, Tayshaun Prince, and that squad, that level of defense has always been something that just attracts basketball fans. We just love to see it. We love to see it. But yeah, that's what they're going to have to establish in this game. If they don't, it's going to be a tough night out because New Orleans has offensive options. And considering the fact that Cade Cunningham is out, CJ McCollum is going to probably be the best scorer on the court. Malik Beasley is going to be able to get it going, get out going. I think he's going to have a good game, especially playing next to Dennis Schroeder. They're going to get plenty of minutes backcourt. Really interested to see the Lindy Waters, Marcus Sasser backcourt with Cade and Tim Hardaway Jr. out as well. Rodman was your favorite player. Yeah, he was my favorite, bro. I really didn't get really on Rodman like that until he came to the Bulls. And then when I saw him on the Bulls, I was like, yo, this dude, everything. And then I had to go back and really watch what Rodman was doing with the Pistons. And I was like, okay, this is who this man is. This is what he does. But Dennis is, yeah, that dude. But as far as this game is concerned, these are the factors that we're going to have to look for. Definitely Tobias Harris, establish him against Kelly Olynyk. I don't think that they have a matchup to really contain Tobias Harris, which is why you need Asar Thompson to stay out of foul trouble as well, because you need to force them to have to choose between putting Bruce Brown as probably the best wing defender, really only wing defender on this roster, making him have to choose between guarding Tobias Harris or Asar Thompson. So, oh, you even don't. I have no idea. All right, get it. Uh, you see, Mike, everyone was a Lakers fan, and being the contrarian, I had to pick the other team. Yeah, back in the day, that's how a lot of people pick their teams. They are mainstream, or they went the villain route. They went the villain route. Detroit Pistons definitely have played the villain many times, definitely against the Lakers as well, because that's when they got to right in the middle of that Magic Johnson, Larry Bird era, which speaks to Isaiah Thomas's greatness. It's a whole other conversation we have to have, because Isaiah Thomas should be far higher on the all-time great list. I think he's like somewhere around top 10 for me because of what he did against who he did it against. That to me was the most telling. I don't think we've ever seen a small guard do what he does. I got him over Stephen Curry. I got him over Allen Iverson. I got Isaiah Thomas over Kobe. He just did something incredible, and I think it gets overlooked a lot. All that's to say, the game should be getting started soon. Um, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because this is going to tell me a lot about this roster. It's going to tell me a lot about JB Bickerstaff as a coach in terms of, pushing the right buttons, move the right pieces around, getting the right matchups in order to explain, and how he gets involved these other starters. I hope he doesn't just do the hope our veterans take us home type of deal. I hope he just rests on the laurels of what Dennis Schroeder, Malik Beasley, and Tobias Harris are going to do. I really want to see Jalen Duren have a big game. I want to see him get over 20 points or close to it. Get like 18. Get to that free throw line a lot. Dominate on the interior. They don't have another big who can really compete with his physicality or his ability to get downhill on drives to the rim. And so, yeah. I didn't realize Cade is not available. Yeah. So and I'm okay with that. I don't even think it's an injury thing. I think it might be a rest thing because after this game, our schedule gets crazy. Like we have the Spurs. We get one more should win type of game. This one and the next one. But after that, we go straight into the Cleveland Cavaliers. We go Minnesota Timberwolves. We go, let me see, Oklahoma City Thunder, Toronto Raptors. And that's going to be a trap game. I already said that. Then we go Sacramento Kings. Oh, and we have the Memphis Grizzlies in there. So we have a brutal down the stretch. Um, we have a brutal schedule down the stretch. And then we get the Milwaukee Bucks right on the tail end of it, man. Twice. I see the Milwaukee Bucks twice. And you know they're going to be playing hard. They're going to be playing so hard. Yo, what's good? What's good? Ultra the Thomas fan. Yo, hey, I appreciate whenever you show up. I'm just doing a little prequel to this game, expectations. Talked a little bit about the schedule that's coming up. We have this game and the Spurs. Outside of that, I think we have a game against the Raptors. Uh, that's probably the only game of a sub-100 team that's not competing for a playoff spot, even though the Raptors are competing for a playoff spot, which is because the Raptors are getting healthy finally. They're playing well. They don't look like they're trying to tank season. So they're going to try to get into that play-in game. Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly. I don't know if RJ Barrett will be back by then, but if he is, this team is going to. That's not going to be an easy out. So this back end schedule after this game and the next game against the San Antonio Spurs is going to be highly competitive games all the way through. So I'm not mad that the Detroit Pistons are resting Cade in this game. You see, we'd be lucky to be 2 games above 500 when it's all said and done. For sure. For sure. Nah, you are 100% right. And I've been saying this, which is why I was upset that they didn't rest Cade against the Washington Wizards when they played them back to back in that second game, the second matchup. Thought it was a perfect time to rest him, but they kept grinding, and then losing the game they did against whether it was Utah or whether it was against the last game. I was like, yo, these are blown opportunities against the Mavs. Like these are blown opportunities, and considering what you have ahead of you, it makes me think like, are you guys locked in? Even as a coaching staff, that should have been pushed. I'm saying, yo, our back end schedule is brutal. We have to get these wins. We have to get every single one of these wins. That's what they should have been talking. That's what they should have been selling um, and getting buy-in for. But it is what it is. I hope Atlanta doesn't catch up. Yo, the Hawks, I'm going to be honest, this Hawks team is good. It's a good team. It is a good team. Look, say what you want about the record. They've been decimated by injuries. That's just the reality of it. But these Atlanta Hawks, who just beat the Golden State Warriors, even though they didn't have Steph, when you look at how they can control the game with Trae Young at the helm, they have an opportunity to win every single night. And that trade to bring in Karis LeVert, George Niang, and Trey Mann has given them depth that has allowed that bench unit to be one of the better bench units in the league. In the league, George Niang's getting off. Karis LeVert, he always does his thing. And then you have Trey Mann, the consummate veteran pro. He's a winner. He's a winner. And that means something in this NBA. And then they also have Victor Krejci, Barlow, the young man at center who's played very well. Onyeka Okongwu's been playing well. I love Mohamed Gay's energy. Zachary Reese-Sachet is showing why he was drafted as high as he was. I don't think he's like the greatest number one draft pick of all time, but he doesn't look like he's going to be any near a bust. Nothing near it. He's going to be a shooter at 6'9", who can get to the rim, handle the ball a little bit. The Hawks, I think, are going to keep winning. They're going to be right there neck and neck with us for that sixth seed. We're gonna have to keep our pedal to the metal, all gas, no brakes, all the way through if we're gonna keep them off, and hopefully get a first round matchup against the Indiana Pacers, who I think are gonna leapfrog the Milwaukee Bucks. Um, Let me see. Last thoughts. Let me see. Ultra the fan. Who you think is gonna win? I'm curious. I'm gonna bet on the Pistons. I'm gonna bet on the Pistons in terms of they're playing for more, so they should have a sense of urgency, though they haven't shown that in the past. You have the fact that they have probably the best talent on the floor, which I would say is Jalen Duren, even though he hasn't been optimized yet throughout this season. I would say that they have the best talent. They have Asar Thompson, probably the second best talent, even though they don't have the best scorer. So what that means is that they're going to have to figure out how to leverage their talents, right? They don't have an athlete who can stay with Asar Thompson. They don't have a big who's able to stay with Jalen Duren, which means they should have a lot of trips to the free throw line. And Asar should be able to get out in transition, wreak havoc on the offensive glass, downhill to the rim, and finishing over the top. I hope JB uses Asar as the point forward for stretches tonight. Yeah, he should be doing that overwhelmingly. I think he should be doing that whether Asar is having a good game or a bad game. Let Asar feel it and work his way through it. That's something that is a part of the learning curve. It's not just about having the skill to perform in a certain role. It's also about having the opportunity to get used to the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows. Okay, I turned it over a couple times. I missed a layup a couple times. How do I see within myself? How do I play this role even if I'm not having a great game? Because the team still needs the role. They still need the job done, even if you're not game. And he contributes in so many other areas. I want Asar to learn to maximize his game and not be so focused on how much he's scoring or even making mistakes. So I still want to see the defensive energy, rebounding. I still want to see pushing tempo. Still want to see getting us set up in our offense. Hit the offensive glass. None of these things have to do with whether your shot's going down. None of these things have to do with if you're not turning the ball over. So that's what I want to see as well. Ron Holland off the bench should be an X factor. He had a great first half against Dallas and a horrific second half against Dallas with 3 straight turnovers. Really stalled a comeback that we were trying to make in that second half. So I want to see what he does. Isaiah Stewart, BU, BU. Matas is killing it in Chicago. He is. He's also getting a bigger role, right? He's been starting for a while. And so I wouldn't compare them directly, though he looks like he's going to be an excellent player as well. But it's to say, I think getting the Ron Holland and Bobby Klintman combination, I think is going to be worth more than one Matas Buzelis. But we'll see how it plays out. But I also think Ron Holland is Detroit basketball. And that's why I thought he was the best pick for this team. Followed Matas Buzelis going into the G League Ignite. He played with Ron Holland. Seen him hit the Stars game-winning shot, while he's with the G League Ignite. He looked like a player. But Ron Holland, culturally, is Detroit basketball. Ron Holland is like almost our Dennis Rodman. All gas, no break, balls to the wall, all the monikers that we know about intensity and motor. That's what Ron Holland is. And that's what this team needs more of. Considering that Cade is not necessarily that, Jalen Duren is not necessarily that, but having Isaiah Stewart, Ron Holland, and then having Asar Thompson, you have created the culture of basketball. And we need those guys. Ultra the Thomas fan, I'm just saying everyone watching this live stream should subscribe to you. Not gonna lie, I appreciate that. I just got over 2,000 subs, so I appreciate everybody who has. Definitely smash the like button, hit subscribe, share the video, hit the bell for notifications on new videos. I'm gonna hop off because the game just got started and we're already down 3-2. So I'm gonna start it from the beginning and go through it, but I'll be back on afterwards. I'm gonna holler at y'all next time. Peace.